it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is the January 2020 reading for the sign of Cancer. If you're a Cancer sun, rising or moon, this is a general reading, but it may resonate for you. If you enjoy my work, you can go ahead and help support the channel by purchasing the extended reading, and a link for that is in the description box below. Cancer, let's go ahead and see what's coming out for you in January. Okay, Cancer, January 2020, what have we got in store for you? We're in Capricorn season right now, so all of this 7th house energy infusion happening for you. Partnerships and relationships area. Okay, so we begin with 4 of Pentacles. 2020, of course, is numerology wise a year number 4. So the theme is going to be very much about that investment, where we want to direct our time, energy and resources. And I feel that you are in that rather quiet contemplative energy as we move into the beginning of this year to really assess perhaps what worked and what didn't work through the course of 2019. Of course, we're going to be approaching on the 3rd of this month, Mars moving into the sign of Sagittarius, which activates your 6th house. And for me, the question that would be on your mind is there a better way? 6th house is all about the systems, the structures, the rituals, the things that we put in place to support what it is that we're trying to accomplish. It's also the house of self-care. So Mars giving us that desire, that motivating factor to actually bring about a change. So I think that as we open with this reading, the 4 of Pentacles is that quiet moment, that pause that you're taking to decide, how am I going to really set my store out this year? What is the most important priority for me? And you know, when we approach the 10th of the month, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign. So it's a wonderful way to open up this new year with this powerful surge of energy. And really you should be expecting to see something coming to fruition, or the moment in time where there's a tipping point of something that's been on your mind, something that you have been assessing and considering back in the new moon in July in 2019. So here we come to this culminating point in the 10th of January, that says, okay, if this hasn't worked, now I'm going to call time, or now I'm starting to see the rewards and the fruits of where I've put my effort. And of course, as we're in Capricorn season, for many of you, this may be specifically related to relationships. With this card coming out, it may be that you're holding back right now, or perhaps somebody's holding back on you. So there could be perhaps a little bit of confusion. And of course, January being an incredibly dynamic month from an astrological perspective, everybody on an individual basis, dependent on their personal stories, is going to be activated and triggered in different ways as we come up against these conjunctions between Saturn and Pluto coming in on the 12th. So the energy of this perhaps feeling a little bit chaotic, a little bit haphazard and almost slightly aggressive. And so there is this note of you needing to keep your cool, needing to hold back, needing to just temper and kind of see what the lay of the land's going to be. I feel that there's an awful lot of energy kind of swirling around you, Cancer, but it doesn't mean that you have to step into the storm, right? So you could have a Gemini energy that's around you, or another air sign, or certainly somebody I feel who's a little bit in and out, backwards and forwards, you know, and maybe this is why you've made a decision to just hold back or conserve the energy that you had been directing into a specific situation, relationship, could be either personal or professional, just to see how this month plays out. And I think that would be a wise move on your part. On the 11th, Uranus is moving direct, and it's been retrograde since August 11th in your 11th house, right? So it's had an impact on the way in which you've been able to charge forward from a group perspective, working with others, and how technology has helped support some of the ideas, the dreams and visions that you've had for yourself. So as we have this adjustment and this planetary shift, you are going to be getting a bit more of a green light, and particularly as it's happening right in that full moon energy that's very supportive for you. I do think you're having a powerful opportunity to capitalize on what is going to be like a major kind of marker in time. I think you're going to look back at what has unfolded through the course of the build up to this point in January 2020 and realize that life looked very different post this moment in time. You are being asked right now, and again, we have quite a receptive, quiet, inward-facing energy coming up with High Priestess that's linking into the Four of Pentacles somewhat for me. So I do think that you are being called to trust in yourself right now. Perhaps the external noise, perhaps the actions, the words, or what's kind of charging in from whoever is representing or whatever is representing that Knight of Swords energy is perhaps not the full story. So I feel that your guide of High Priestess is coming in to remind you that at this moment in time, under this lunar energy, the answers, the wisdom, the way forward, the knowing, the opportunity to come back into harmony and alignment with yourself is about going inwards. Of course, as we move through this 7th house for you, a lot of the questions that are being put to you is what is working with regards to the key relationships in my life. And knowing what I know now, how do I propose to make adjustments moving forward? Right? Because we can't move back into old energies or old stories, and anybody who tries to keep you there, or they themselves are stuck in that kind of perpetual energy pattern that is no longer serving the growth or expansion of themselves or the collective, isn't going to be able to continue. So we come in with this focus almost that I think your guides are bringing you that says, I just need to really conserve my energy. I need to understand what I'm prioritizing, and I'm going to absolutely focus on what that vision looks like for me and what this year is going to afford me the opportunity to move towards, right? I think that under this full moon in your sign Cancer, you have that incredible manifesting potential to really decide how this year looks to you. And of course, we've got a fast-paced changing energy, a very different frequency to 2019, but you've gained so much wisdom, and this is the time for implementation. This is the time for you to apply the skill, apply the knowing, and really use it to help you build something that feels more fulfilling. When we come to the 13th of the month, Venus is moving into the sign of Pisces, and this is your 9th house, which means that the relationships that are in your life, you need to be stimulated in your mind as well as your heart, right? And it will really help you to break free and break out of anything that feels like it's got stuck in a rut. But there's also this understanding that perhaps there's work to do, but I don't feel that you're afraid of that work. I think that you know what needs to be done and you know what needs to change. And this is also about relationship with self. It's not just those key personal, professional relationships in our world. But if this is an air sign or somebody that's coming across very mercurial, I think that you know what needs to change, and you're going to spend the time and focus and energy making sure that you do what's necessary on your part, but really on the understanding that you can't force anybody to have the desire to want to change or want to make that difference for themselves, and that actually it would be a waste and a drain of your energy to actually do that. Okay, we have the moon, beautiful. So your ruler coming through here right at the center of the reading, just as a reminder, very linked into that High Priestess, that intuitively January is a month that you kind of need to sense your way through. And actually when we move into Aquarius, this is your 8th house, so it is all about that deeper subconscious part of you, doing that inner work where you're understanding what needs to shed in your world so you can allow new energies to come in and almost have that metamorphosis take place. I do think that there's some confusion on your part with concerns to this individual, okay? I think that they've probably been hot and cold. They've probably said one thing and done another. And wherever this is showing up in your world, you know, it could be a family member, it could be somebody that you're dealing with in your work or business, or a key friendship or romantic relationship. So however this is come to pass for you, and this might be something that's already presented itself, okay? But I think that perhaps you don't know the full story. You're not being given all of the information. But intuitively, I think that you sense there's more to come. I think you sense there's more to come, Cancer, and I think that you would be right on that front. Rest assured, January is set to bring everything to the surface as we move through this mid part of the month with all of these opposing energies. Now, when we have that full moon in your sign, there is an opposition with Saturn, Pluto, and Mercury. So Mercury being that planet of communication, so it could make for some challenging or difficult conversations that need to happen. But remember what I said about you keeping your cool and coming from a place of, like, I want to say energetic integrity. This has come up in a lot of the readings for me for 2020, and I think it's a theme that we're all going to be working with over the next 12 months. It's, you know, if I stay true to myself, to my authentic truth as I have come to understand, you know, based on what you have been through, particularly through this last 12 months of 2019, you are no longer able to break that kind of code of conduct that you've set out for yourself. And if that means that you have to shatter someone's illusion of how things could be, or if it's about you having to change your own expectation about what's possible, I think you're prepared to do that because you want to absolutely move away from this type of energy and this type of person in your life. There's just no room for it anymore with where you're going, Cancer. There's too much investment that's already been made towards a vision that you have for the future. And you need to continue with that. There's this powerful sort of momentum that's building. And I think that you are aware of what's calling you, where you want to direct that focus, if you like. And there's definitely areas of your life that haven't served you, that haven't fulfilled you, that haven't lived up to what you hoped they would be. And this is a point early on in the year where you really get to decide, okay, do I want to continue with this, or am I prepared to move forward? So Queen of Pentacles energy coming in for me just as a reminder that we need to keep going with the focus, particularly that we have around work, around what we're building for ourselves, what we're creating. And remember, you know, that might not specifically for all of you be about a job or a business. This could be the way that you're creating a family unit or environment or something that is a passion or a project for you. For me, you know, the energy of Queen of Pentacles coming in is saying, okay, I need to understand what resources I need. I have the wherewithal to do it. I'm in my manifesting power with this at the moment. And I need to apply myself, and I'm not prepared to be pulled in to any kind of drama or anything that isn't showing up and isn't true and isn't holding integrity. So you don't need to be a part of what I have going on. I'm really okay with where I'm at right now. If this is an earth sign that you are dealing with at the moment, Cancer, perhaps specifically on a work level, I do feel that there are opportunities with all of this 7th house activity taking place to have some interesting collaborations and opportunities to move forward, particularly as we move into that new moon on the 24th, which is your 8th house, okay? So the opportunity to have investment, to look at joint ventures, to really create a master plan or put a strategy in place, working with the best. This is what I feel like. They're talking to me about aligning yourself with those energies and those people that are the best at what they do to really help you raise the bar in what you're doing. So there's a lot of exciting activity coming in toward the end of the month for those of you that do really want to advance and take a step up in terms of your work or business, Cancer. And I would say be open to opportunities, be open to those conversations with interesting, different, unique individuals, particularly with Venus and Pisces in the 9th house for you. I think the opportunity to be stimulated and have some interesting dialogue that could cause you to see a new opening or look at doing something a bit differently that's really going to help you, is shown to me quite strongly. I think from a relationship perspective, if we have somebody that's coming in and out, toing and froing, not committing, but then perhaps you've got someone in the wings who's diligently, repeatedly shown up and I guess being fairly upfront and honest about what they're looking for, and perhaps just for, maybe for some of you Cancer, they haven't really represented the more exciting option. But at this point in time, as you're really coming into a point of making a decision and choice about how you want the next few months to play out for you, there may be a reevaluation that takes place on that level. I think for some of you who are already in those committed relationships, again, there's this moment in time where you're getting to be more upfront, honest and direct about what you need to be emotionally satisfied, okay? So there is this flow, there is this fluidity that comes in through the month of January, despite the very kind of chaotic and slightly aggressive energies that are kind of forcing things to the surface. But I think you're uniquely poised, Cancer, having that lunar support, if you like, to really speak your truth and allow that heart's desire to be expressed in a really authentic way. And actually, I think you might be surprised at what comes from that, to actually help you to move beyond any old limitations or previous situations that have left you feeling somewhat disenchanted, really, with how things could be. Okay, so Seven of Cups energy coming through, and I think we are talking about this deeply spiritual alignment that's taking place as we move into the frequency of 2020, where you are being given new options, new choices, the potential for things to change, but being reminded that you have to lay out what that vision looks like. Sometimes if we don't get clear about the way that we want to feel or the things that we want to have in our world, the universe can just deliver more of that chaos and that confusion. So take the time to anchor into that Queen of Pentacles energy, to use that High Priestess as your guide to really decide what matters in your world and where you want to prioritize. I think that as we move into 8th house, there is also some deeper emotional work that's taking place where perhaps you're bumping up against some echoes of old energies that are reactivating perhaps some wounds. But I feel that this is about a mass clearing and a cleansing energy that's taking place. So for some of you, I think you will have that feeling that there is a purging going on through January, but actually when you come to the end of the month, there's almost like a sense of relief, I feel, that's coming through. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with the energies that are coming at you from all angles this month. I want you to stay calm and composed and true to yourself so that you don't end up saying yes to try to acquiesce to anybody else's choices and decisions. So security coming through for you. And I think that the fire here is really important, because for me, January is going to remind you what it is that you're passionate about, who it is that you're passionate about, and what you want to do about it to continue to work on that, to relight that fire, to make it glow even brighter. And I think, again, the guides are asking you to be more expansive in the vision of what you're looking for. I think that full moon should deliver you an incredible gift of insight into something, a psychic flash, a moment, a revelation, an epiphany that's going to give you a real power boost, a real sense of strength coming in, where you can feel, I think, a real wish or a desire is almost here. It's about to manifest. It's about to show up in your world. Discernment. Yeah, I think the discernment for me is really about you carefully deciding who gets to be in your inner circle, who you want to align with, who you want to work and collaborate with, who you are going to invest your emotional energy, your heart energy. You're not prepared to connect with people wound to wound anymore. This is not about lowering your vibrational energy when you've worked so hard and so diligently to do so much work on yourself. And even when there's been disappointments or things that haven't come to fruition in a way that you expected them to through the course of 2019, January and the beginning of this new year is set to show you that none of those efforts that you made were in vain. You're going to start to see how things can evolve and completely transform in ways that perhaps you didn't expect, Cancer. Okay, so I hope this has given you some insight and clarity to the month ahead. I am going to go ahead and pull us some clarifying cards for the extended reading, so we'll see what else comes out in this. And if you'd like to join me, you can just click on the description box. The link is there, and it's a way to help support my channel and my work. Okay, so Four of Pentacles. Let's take a look and see what comes out with this. Okay, another Four of Pentacles card. Interesting. Ten of Wands. Okay. I think this is really about you deciding what you need to prioritize, because you simply can't focus on everything and do it well. So that will bring about changes to key relationships. Okay, High Priestess coming in over this Knight of Swords energy. I really think I really think you have a measure of who this person is and what they're all about. I don't think there's anyone pulling the wool over your eyes with regards to this, okay? Even if they think they are. Okay, Emperor energy coming through. So this could represent a cardinal energy. Perhaps it's an Aries that we're dealing with. Okay, Star energy coming through over that High Priestess. Beautiful celestial energies, just reminding you that you're deeply protected and guided at the moment. Even if it feels like there's a little chaos and things are sort of crumbling in certain areas of your life, Cancer, I want you to be clear in the knowledge that actually what's getting rebuilt, Emperor coming in, that number 4 year that we're in, is something more solid, something more secure. Okay, Eight of Pentacles is bringing in Seven of Wands. Ace of Swords coming through here. Okay, Two of Cups coming over that Moon. Moon, of course, could be a Pisces energy that you might be dealing with, but certainly I think the focus around that Moon is on a key relationship. I think this is all connected. So, Six of Pentacles. Maybe there's just been a real imbalance in this relationship and you're ready for that to flip. You're ready for that to change. But for that to change, you have to make an adjustment yourself, and I think you know what that is. Okay, Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles. I think maybe whatever somebody's offered or put forward, it hasn't really measured up. It's not been enough. The Sun is coming in with that Queen of Pentacles. Just a reminder that if you choose to focus in the right areas through this month of January, you're going to make incredible progress and you're going to have some really sweet success and some moments of joy to come. Okay, so don't be derailed by anything that has surfaced with regards to that individual. Nine of Cups bringing in Six of Swords. This rite of passage that's taking place, moving you towards the things that matter, where your heart's desire is. Eight of Wands energy coming in. Okay. Seven of Cups is bringing in the Strength card. Maybe it's a Leo involved in the situation here as well, but I also feel it's just Spirit here talking to me about the strength that you're being given in order to navigate your way through, to keep going, to have the resilience to not give up on the ideas, the dreams, the ambitions that you have for yourself and the life that you want to lead, even if there's set to be changes in and around the people who are going to be a part of that vision, Cancer. Okay. Security bringing in the King of Pentacles, which is really just strengthening that message that January is set to deliver you something that's going to help you to feel much more secure about the way forward. Ace of Wands coming in with discernment. Okay. Cancer, if you'd like to join me, I look forward to continuing this conversation. We'll go a bit deeper and pull out further messages to help you through this month of January. Otherwise, thanks for being here and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the reading, please go ahead, drop me a like and comment, and you can share the video, and I will connect with you again next month. Take care.